Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and this video is going to be going over the basics of the arena, kind of showing what it is, what it's all about, and then kind of the essentials that you need to know for building a team to perform in the arena. So let's get into it. Alrighty, if you are a new player, the arena is where you're going to battle against other players in the game. Excuse me, and you're going to be acquiring basically points and medals to upgrade your Great Hall, which is kind of like an overall encompassing buff for your champions. You can see here, if you upgrade this attack, you get a 2% bonus to all of your magic affinity heroes. And then it shows your arena points, which is basically your ranking in the arena. Mine could be much higher than this, but I kind of artificially keep it low on purpose, which I'll kind of explain when I get into the arena why that's kind of what I do. And then it kind of shows you all the certain things here that you need to know relevant. But basically, it's just how many medals you have, your arena points, and then your tokens are your available opportunities to fight in the arena. So when we go into the arena, it's under battle and then arena. You can see here, it costs 1 token to fight in a battle. And when we're at this main screen, what we can do for our defense is we can set when a player goes to battle us in the arena, we have no control over our defense. We're not going to get to play in that battle. They're just going to be on auto and they're going to play. So now if you want to push your arena ranking as high as possible, you would want to set up a good defense here. I just put 1 hero here, and this is actually fairly common. You'll see this occur in the arena, so that I can keep my arena rating artificially lower than it should be, because then I can spend all 10 of my tokens for battles that I know I'm going to win, instead of pushing my rating as high as possible and only winning 4 or 5, and it takes longer and I have to put a lot more effort into it. There's just not enough incentive for me to go as high as possible in the arena, unless there was a system where I could fight as many times as I want or something. Like if it costs energy instead of tokens, then there'd be a little bit more of an argument to push as high as possible. But from what I'm experiencing kind of here in the mid game, I haven't hit like end game arena yet. This is kind of what I found to work best and be my most efficient use of tokens and efficient use of my time, so I can get back into doing other things. So that's why I only have the 1 hero there in my defense. Now, when we go back to the battle screen, if you're right here, you're not going to get a whole lot of information. You're going to see the levels and their hero and their ascension stars. But if we click battle, now we get a chance to really dive in. Like if you don't know who this hero is, you can click on it and say, oh, okay, this is their support, this is what they do. And what's cool about the arena is you can actually back out and build a team. You can make some switches, do some things, move some things around, and then just counter this team. You can see their aura, you can see their heroes, their stats, and you can counter this team. I don't really spend a whole lot of time doing that. I just want to kind of get in, get my tokens, and get out and start being efficient farming and stuff. So that's more of like an end game thing, is to be, swapping your heroes around and really min-maxing versus the team you're going to be focusing on. But as a beginner or an intermediate player, I would just focus more on, building a overall glass cannon, attack fast team, and just burn your tokens and then get back to farming food and stuff. So now I'm going to kind of go over kind of the general gist of building a successful arena team. What's going to happen when the battle starts is the battle is going to go in a certain order, and that order is going to be determined by speed. So that's why I kind of went with the Spirit Host here to give a buff to my speed. The aura increase ally speed by 10%. So the most important thing when you're building an arena team is to get them to go in the right order. And I'll kind of go back to my champions here and explain that. So if we go back to champions and I pull this up, so right here, Hope is in my arena team. And if we look at her skills, the main thing I'm using her for in the arena is this Hearten, which is increase the duration of buffs by a turn and place a shield. Now, I don't want her to go first. I don't want her speed to be the highest in my group, because then she's going to be increasing the duration of buffs when there hasn't even been a buff yet. So what I want to happen is my Spirit Host to go first and increase ally attack by 50%. I want that to happen right away. I want her to buff. Then I want Hope to increase the duration of that buff and provide a shield. And then I want my DPS characters to go boom, boom. So I want my speed rating to be highest on Spirit Host. You can see here the speed rating of 98 plus 51. That's going to be the highest of anybody in my group. Then we go down to Hope. Needs to be second. She has a speed rating of 132. So she's going to be going second. It's going to be Spirit Host and then Hope. And then I have my damage dealers below Hope and speed. So I want their speed to be as high as realistically possible, but not more than Hope, because it's going to go Spirit Host and then Hope and then my damage dealers. And they're going to kind of bring the pain and, you know, clean up with the buff that they have gotten from my Spirit Host and Hope. So I'll kind of show you this in action. We'll just go into the arena here, and we'll just kind of fight. So when the fight starts here, it's going to default with you in control. So if you want it to be auto, you're going to have to click it every single time. So we see the battle starting, and now you see the first person to act is my Spirit Host right here, and that's because she has the highest speed. So now I can use this to buff the attack of all my characters. And now, remember, Hope was second in speed, so she's going to go second. And then I have this skill here that's going to increase the duration of that buff and give me a shield. So now we'll see that the attack has a 2 there. It's going to go to a 3, and I get that shield. So now when the enemy attacks me, with me having a high speed, I was able to get that shield off before they get a chance to attack me. And that's going to help me from getting one shot and being burst down. Now my damage dealers get to have some fun. So we go lightning arrow, boom, and we've already dropped somebody. Then I do Galix, main damage dealer, and boom, just like that. We glass cannon, we burst them down with speed and damage. We're able to get to them before they could even react. The enemy team never got a chance to do anything. And my squad is much better than this team. But with the strategy, I'm able to beat teams that are far superior to me in team power. You know, I'm beating teams that have like 40,000 something team power. I've beaten teams that are almost double me in power because I'm able to, you know, with my speed, buff, boom, boom, burst them down, game over. I have enough of a lead to take me into the late game of the battle and take it down and get the points. So that's kind of how you're going to want to construct a team to have success in the arena, and kind of the order of operations and how you want things done. The last thing I want to go over before I kind of end the video is making sure that you are playing to your character's strengths and building the proper sets and artifacts on them. So what we see here, I use Hope. She's my character that acts second in the arena. My Spirit Host buffs damage, and then Hope provides a shield and makes that damage buff last longer. When we look at Hope's skills, we're going to see here that the shield buff is equal to 15% of this champion's HP. So what's going to be important for me to have on Hope? A lot of HP, because that's going to make the shield a lot stronger for my allies. So what do? I give her the HP set to get that HP as high as possible, and then I put a couple pieces of speed to kind of fit her in right after the Spirit Host, but before my DPS damage dealers. And then my damage dealers, I want them to be able to sustain, because I should have enough of a lead after that initial surge. I'm going to give them the vampire set and the attack set. That way, you know, I'm hoping that the enemy team is going to be down 1 or 2. And now if my damage dealers can just steal enough health to kind of sustain and deal damage, I'll be able to kind of outlast them if they didn't die on the first wave. So that's why you're going to see the artifacts be lifesteal and attack on these 2 damage dealers. So yeah, that's kind of the basics and the gist of the arena. If you have any questions, I'm very active about responding to comments. I'll do my best to help you out. And as always, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.